Well, my name's John Ekman. I am a resident of Oregon and have been the majority of my life. I have background in the military and worked in steam in the military on a ship and progressed on to building and repairing machinery for the last 30 years, and mostly in the heavy equipment, lumber, plywood, logging machinery, forest products industry. I have experienced a good bit in maintenance over the years of primarily heavy equipment and the repair of it and how to repair it under some adverse conditions and so forth and so on. And as has Nels.
And my name is Nels Melbert, and I'm a 30-year resident of the Yukon Territory, Northern Canada. My experience actually comes from a hands-on type of experience. I've been an owner-operator, mechanic, and maintenance guy of my own equipment for all through the 70s and 80s and 90s. Worked as far north as the Arctic Circle. Had a vast array of different types and pieces of equipment, all which we looked after ourselves. Our own mechanical staff looked after our own equipment, and in some cases we were several hundred, probably 500 and 600 miles away from the nearest source of parts or infrastructure. I have a vast amount of experience in dealing with mechanical breakdowns as well as maintenance in large trucks and trailers.
In adverse conditions.
In everything from 40 below to 90 above.
Mine is similar to that, but not quite in the distances that Nels. I looked after the maintenance facility for Georgia Pacific Corporation in Central Oregon, where we had a logging operation and a export facility for wood chips in Portland and Coos Bay. And sometimes parts, most common thing would be 70 miles away rather than 600, but both under adverse conditions. We both have a similar background and I guess a basic understanding of heavy equipment and machinery. Well, I'm very excited about the product. Nels is the father of the invention, and it is by his hands-on experience that his fact is it is his brainchild. My part in the project and in the invention is just to help bring it into reality and so forth. But I'm particularly excited about it because it's a safety device. I've seen plenty of accidents and been involved in enough myself that I know the importance of safety, and this particular level of which the product invention that we have will without question save lives. I think one of the peculiar things about it is that it is a basic mechanical issue that has been overlooked for far too long, and that Nels, having had the unfortunate experience of having it happen to him, where he watches his brand new set of Michelin tires lofting themselves off into the yonder into one of the lakes in the far north, fortunately not hitting anybody, and then finding loose retaining mechanisms on a number of his trucks, and a number of my friends have had this experience, and I have seen it for myself. And of course one can imagine, or maybe can imagine, how tragic it is when a 500-600 pound set of dual wheels launch themselves off of a vehicle going 65 miles an hour and careen into oncoming traffic in the other direction. And this happens all too often, and there's reasons why it's happening, and it basically stems from a design, we believe a design flaw in design.
It's a design overlook.
It's a design overlook, and it is also due to federal and state inspection people not having a window of visibility to see into what the mechanism is or is not within the hub.
Or even the operator.
If they could walk out each pre-trip and do a walk around their vehicle, they're going to see, if they pay attention, they're going to see if they've got a pending problem. And the dynamics of the invention are such that it tells a great deal of what may be going wrong within the assembly itself. It not only senses oscillation, which we know occurs when there is a retaining problem developing, or bearing failure in the process where it's cycled out and there begins to be slop. We know that we have oscillation. We sense that and we indicate it. And in addition to that, there is often heat.
Heat associated with the failure.
Heat associated with the failure. And for each one of these failures that we're talking about and these two indicators, there's a whole host of reasons why that takes place that are not visible to the normal person. And we believe that an invention we have will change that.
I was lucky enough in my personal observations that the times this happened to me, it didn't involve property damage or any fatality type of an incident. I was able to catch it in time to avoid any of that.
Except once.
Well, actually 3 times. In my history of all the millions of miles, cumulative miles my trucks have gone, I've had it happen 3 times. And each time it careened into a ditch and didn't have any effect on anything except my own well-being at the time. The truck was down for that period of time, and the repairs necessary was done. But what I've caught, though, a number of occasions in my mechanical procedure of maintenance procedures, is caught something almost ready to happen. That's the thing that I always thought, wow, I have just caught this in time. Had I let it go another 1 or 2 days, I would have had a wheel come off. And every time, almost every time, I wasn't taking it apart because I suspected a problem in the hub. It was for another reason. Brakes, for instance, or something of such a leaky wheel seal. And I've taken the outer oil hub off and found the retention nuts laying loose inside the cap. I mean, it was just a matter of time.